sant yàlla.
looy xaar utal Wave nga scan nga fay te nag doo ci yokku dara.
Jar Oil, the company, have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
In the Gambia, we all move to different paces. Time is money, convenience is power, and now both are in your hands. No more long lines, no more late payments, no more missed chances. Not anymore. Because now the Gambia has its own super app, Zap. One app, one tap, endless convenience. Send money instantly, pay your bills in seconds, shop without borders, pay your rides, order your meal, buy your ticket, deposit and withdraw money for absolutely free. No extra charges, no hidden fees, only on Zap Super App. This is not just convenience. This is confidence. This is the future in your hands. And the best part, Zap is born right here. Built for us, designed for every Gambian home, every Gambian dream. So don't wait in the past. Step into the future. Download Zap today on App Store and Play Store and enjoy endless free services. Call us today on our toll-free number 1666 or on 260-0001. Zap, all in one, all for you. Tap in, zap in.
Monday the 9th of February 2026. We're still with Lare Sisay. Are you through with your, with your list?
Yeah.
Because now we need to talk about, having identified the issues, what the UDP will do if it were entrusted with government after the election in 2026.
Unless you want me to go through the litany again, which I don't mind doing, but we've said over and over again that I just highlighted 3 core areas that every Gambian is concerned about. Affordability, our cost of living. Yeah. It is high.
So how will you ensure affordability then?
You see, when you have a situation where the economy is not working, you have to go back to the source of why it's not working. And as far as we are concerned, we are in this mess of high cost of living because our currency is weak.
Okay.
The Dalasis is very weak. And when the currency is weak, you tend to contract loans to prop up the economy because the currency is not bringing in the type of money that is required for growth to happen. You have to do some serious monetary and fiscal policy reforms. And that is why we are saying our reform agenda revolves around these 3 core issues. Affordability.
Access?
No, affordability, access, affordability, accountability. Affordability, accountability, and constitutional democracy. Okay. Those are the 3. Now, people heard, UDP guys. In fact, the party leader himself, he wants 1 term, and that 1 term is going to be focused on reforms only. And those reforms, economic reforms, including fiscal monetary policy reforms, in order to free the economy to do what it's supposed to do. And by the way, you have to add manufacturing to that because we are not manufacturing anything. If your economy is not manufacturing, you cannot sell abroad. If you don't sell abroad, you cannot get foreign exchange. If you don't have foreign exchange, you have to go out and borrow it, either in the domestic market or in the international market. Either way, you are in a mess. Security sector reforms is also part of what we do, and electoral reforms. The electoral reforms, we are very clear and we are clear-eyed that our very first action is to bring back the 2020 Constitution. Bring it back. If we have to discuss among ourselves and the National Assembly to tweak it here and there, fine. But 99% of it is ready to go. And at the core of that is electoral reforms. We want to be able to say this is a government that has ushered in free, fair, transparent elections in the country, which includes our diasporans voting. If it includes creating parliamentary constituencies for our diasporans to be able to vote, so be it. Other countries have done it. We think, all it needs, even under this 1997 constitution, all it needs is to amend sections of it to allow for that to happen. But if you have a government that is more insistent, more focused on entrenching itself, you cannot do those basic reforms. And finally, the issue of water, electricity. Electricity is very expensive per capita in this country. When you, I think I said it in this program before, when you buy $2,000 worth of cash power, you put it into your meter, it is minus 30%.
Minus 30%?
Yep.
You lose nearly a third.
You lose nearly a third of it. Just put it in and you lose it. Your listeners may be listening to this. If you have that experience, please call Peter and tell him.
Oh, wow.
You don't get what you pay for.
But to lose nearly a third, that's
about
a lot.
About that.
So when I buy, tokens, say 1,000, and it tells me I have 10.
You'll probably, if you put it in there, you'll probably end up getting 1,700. Or if you, that is 2,000. If you bought 2,000, if you bought 1,000, you put the token in, it will be minus $300. I pay attention to these things because I get asked questions on cost of living quite a bit.
Could that meter be on loan? Maybe on a loan? They owe something to NAWEC, and there was an arrangement that this meter would be deducted $300 every time there's a transaction?
You see, this is where it leads us to speculation.
Yeah.
For the life of me, I bought that meter. I bought the token for the electricity. When I put $2,000 in it, I should get $2,000 worth of electricity.
But you get 1,700.
1,700.
This is no laughing matter, but you can't help laughing.
No, this is why I'm saying all this electricity that he's lighting, people are going to start crying because you want to feed your electricity with that kind of a tariff structure. And by the way, they increased the tariffs by about 30% 2 years ago. And don't be surprised, immediately after the elections, the tariff will be increased again. So, you give rural people that electricity, but they don't have the tools to survive neatly in terms of being able to afford something. And that's where the affordability comes in. Senegal, again, they just slashed the cost of electricity. In a serious way.
True.
They slash the cost of all the basic commodities in a serious way. I mean, what kind of economics are they practicing there that we cannot practice here?
Well, they're supposed to have hidden loans that have been brought to the
Yes,
fore.
but they are still able to do this. And the resources are domestically mobilized. I'm saying the kind of economics that they practice is not the kind of economics we practice here. If we practice that kind of economics, our price structure will not be at the levels that it is in, and it strikes at the heart of the affordability debate. Prices, by the way, have started spiraling up because Ramadan is coming.
Well, some have gone down. Cement has gone down. Rice has gone down.
Listen, Peter, I saw your programs with these cement companies. when this cement problem started, a bag of cement was $300. Now, if a bag of cement is $500, $700, you cannot say it's coming down, can you?
It was $300 when?
It was 300.
What year was that?
Go 2024.
It was 300?
300 a bag of cement. I was building something, I bought cement. Now, if it is around 500, between 500 and 700, that is not a reduction.
It's down to 450.
Yes, and then
in the greater Banjul
and then
area
the,
anyway.
the smaller guys who supplied that cement from Senegal, you cut them off.
Well, they're saying they are
This
the ones
crisis.
who took the price to 650.
No, it's because you created a monopoly for a particular company. If the market were open for competition, prices will spiral down, because there are many supply chains that you could utilize to bring the commodity in. Now, look at it this way. Whenever there is a cement issue, only one company comes to your program and other programs to justify that there is no cement shortage going on. The price of cement is going down. One company. There is a reason why it's in the eye of the storm, because the public perception is that a natural monopoly was created for him, for that particular company. And that strikes at what I have just said. Open the market for competition. When you open the market for competition, the goods and services that are going to come from different sources will have an impact on the stabilization of the price. But you do not create a natural monopoly and expect the economy to work in a calibrated way. It doesn't happen. Wherever you create a natural monopoly, prices tend to go up. They don't go down. So they need to open up these markets. Even the market for basic commodities needs to be opened up. I am a firm believer that during Jawara's time, anybody who has capital and you can bring rice or oil or onions in the country, you are allowed to bring it. With one caveat, the quality has to be internationally accepted standard.
You're suggesting that's not happening now?
No, that's not happening. The commodities market also, a natural monopoly was created. This is why our commodities keep spiraling up. You see, what Senegal has done is to open the market. Whoever can bring in the commodities, you go ahead and bring it and structure your price. You see, the prices just dropped immediately.
In Senegal?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm saying the kind of economics they practice there is not the same kind of economics we practice here.
We have to start rounding up now. So looking across these issues, polls, coalition prospects, election integrity, and the economy, what do you see as the single biggest test of Gambian democracy in 2026?
To conduct free, fair, transparent elections. Because that would take care of the other issues. If you have a government for the people, by the people, you take care of these issues that you are talking about. I don't think anybody can argue with the fact that among all these issues, having a government that Gambians feel they have elected freely, fairly, transparently, cannot be more important than any of those other issues, because it's a boomerang effect, for lack of a better description. It's a boomerang effect. If there is a government that Gambians have elected and are not questioning its legitimacy, then the issue of constitutional reforms, economic reforms, they all fall in. So elections have consequences. I always say on my social media thing that elections have consequences. And the consequences are grave in a situation where the perception is that a leader hasn't been elected by his own people, that a leader is elected because you bring in foreign elements to vote. There is a legitimacy issue there. What I would love to see is for this legitimacy issue to be addressed head on And I'm not talking about going into a studio to talk about, with all due respect to you guys, to talk about this thing. I'm talking about taking tangible measures that people can see to build the confidence of people in your process. If people don't have confidence in your process, they cannot legitimize it. We are talking election integrity because we've lived it for 30 years during a dictatorship and now in 2021. So it's a serious concern for us, but it should be more of a serious concern to all Gambians also, to make sure that our elections are free, fair, transparent, and that only eligible Gambian citizens can vote, to talk about how the party should regenerate itself and prepare us for the elections. Now, anybody who is at that particular event will see the grassroots nature of UDP. People think, well, it's a false narrative, but they think now they've started verbalizing to say it's a one-man party. UDP has never been, it wasn't conceptualized that way, and it has never operated that way. And I know that because you know what?
What?
The core group that actually sat and conceptualized the UDP, I was their scribe. I was their scribe. This was in 1995. The late Chief Keba Jammeh Ilyasa, who was a parliamentary secretary in the Jawara government before the coup, was the glue in the thing. He mentored me like I was his son. And he brought together somebody called Keba Dabo. Keba Dabo used to be one of Jawara's right-hand people, even went with Jawara to the UK and passed away there. And then there is Sekou Demba at Lebato restaurant. He was part of it. And later on, Honorable Jallo Sane joined the core group. The idea behind the UDP epitomizes its core values. It's a small man's party. And this is why our subscription rate is around $5 per month. And people pay it religiously. And the party stands for justice, peace, and progress. That is what is on our emblem. Anybody who thinks that UDP is a one-man party, you don't know the party. You've never known the party. And we are not going to throw shades to people because we know who we are. We are probably the most inclusive party on the Gambian political scene. We have people with disabilities in elective positions. We have women, very strong women I don't need to name all the names, but we have strong women from different ethnic groups, different ethnic backgrounds, different cultural backgrounds. That is the inclusion that we want for the country. And that is why last time I said we need, and today I'm saying we need to talk about this tribalism because it is tearing our country at its seams. And those who are latching onto it are the ones who are actually not benefiting from the politics of the country because all they can offer is ethnicity. And I think in the year 2026, we should transcend ethnicity in our decision making. Now, finally, those who say anybody but UDP, anybody but Hussein Udabo, they have a right to their opinions. We respect their opinions. But please, let them also respect our choice of saying this is the one we want. And the reasons that we prefer has to be respected. don't delegitimize it, because we are not an entity that can be easily delegitimized. That's what I have to say. Thank you. December 5. It's a simple message. Look at where you were in 2016 and compare it to where you are in 2026. Are you better off now than you've been better off in 2026? If you are not better off, you need to vote for change. And if you want to vote for change, we think we are the best entity that can usher in a situation where you can afford your basket of commodities that you need on a daily, monthly, weekly basis. We are the ones that think that we can bring affordability to the equation, make your cost of living a bit more tenable. We think the agriculture sector is gone out the window, especially when you have a system that says donkey carts and horse carts are better than, we should adopt them instead of mechanized agriculture. The price of groundnuts, I think that debate has somewhat died down, but every time you go to the rural areas, the lumos, the secos where they buy and sell groundnuts, people complain. And I think I said it in this studio also, that if you look at the price of groundnuts on the international markets, it's a band. The lower band is $500 US per ton. The upper band is 1,800. Now, if you convert that into Dalasis, the lower band is about $33,000 per ton, and
I would say 35. It's the dollar is 70 at least.
It's at the time they structured the price, it was 33.
33, okay.
35,000.
Yes,
sorry,
35.
It was 35,000, and then they added 3,000 to it to make it 38. Now the upper band is about 85,000 Dalasis. Now, if you were to give just the medium band,
a 50,000
spread difference. Now we are saying if you try hard, you could actually get a ton of groundnuts for about 60,000-70,000 Dalasis. So
UDP would guarantee that.
We are not going to.
A UDP government would guarantee.
We are not going to guarantee that. That's because we do not control the international
you have
market.
to be put in office first to guarantee anything.
First we have to win, but secondly, it's a process of negotiation. Trading is about negotiations. I have seen just recently Cote d'Ivoire. The government decides.
We have only 5 minutes left.
Yeah, the government decides to buy all of its cocoa produce in this season because the international price of cocoa is low. They will buy it, store it, and when the price is going, they dump it on the market. And in fact, holding it like that will trigger an increase in the price of cocoa and coffee.
It will create a shortage somewhere.
Shortage somewhere.
As the world's biggest producer of cocoa.
So that's what we are saying. We don't.
But unfortunately, we are not the world's biggest producer of groundnut.
Yes, we are not, but we could produce good quality groundnuts that will affect the market. We keep complaining about the aflatoxin content of our groundnuts. For 60 years, we have not introduced seeds that would free us from aflatoxin.
Could that even be,
it is not
the consequence of the what's it called? A fertilizer we use.
It is not. It is not. We just choose to use those kinds of seeds.
Excuses, okay.
And it's an excuse because the aflatoxin-free seeds are available out there. It's a question of sourcing it and making it available to farmers as a cheap input.
I hear that Brazilian nuts are even bigger. And,
yes. Bigger,
easier to sell.
Bigger, juicier, and oilier.
Yeah. So maybe we should go the Brazilian way. Oh. Right. So was that your final message?
You use the word guarantee.
Yeah.
In politics, you don't guarantee.
You don't guarantee anything.
You make a commitment, and a sincere commitment, and let people see you actually fulfilling those commitments. You don't, unlike our opponents, you don't go and make promises, tell people, well, when
so the UDP does not make promises?
No. We are not going to promise anybody that when we come, we are going to do A, B, C, D, and E, when we know we are not going to do it. The president stood on a public platform and said, in politics, when you are campaigning, you can go and promise something. When you win, you go and do something else. That's not our politics. We will tell Gambians exactly what we are going to do and how to do it. And we are going to say, when it comes to the agricultural side of things, it's a global supply chain. And we have to understand that global supply chain for us to be able to play the game smartly. If we cannot do that, we can't play smart. Senegal's agriculture minister, he is as sharp as a razor blade.
Okay, so you will appoint a minister even sharper?
Even sharper than that.
That razor blade.
Yes.
Lare, thanks for coming.
Sant yàlla.
looy xaar utal Wave nga scan nga fay te nag doo ci yokku dara.
Oil. The company have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
In the Gambia, we all move to different paces. Time is money, convenience is power, and now both are in your hands. No more long lines, no more late payments, no more missed chances, not anymore. Because now the Gambia has its own super app, Zap. One app, one tap, endless convenience. Send money instantly, pay your bills in seconds, shop without borders, pay your rides, order your meal, buy your ticket, deposit and withdraw money for absolutely free. No extra charges, no hidden fees, only on Zap Super App. This is not just convenience. This is confidence. This is the future in your hands. And the best part, Zap is born right here. Built for us, designed for every Gambian home, every Gambian dream. So don't wait in the past. Step into the future. Download Zap today on App Store and Play Store and enjoy endless free services. Call us today on our toll-free number 1666 or on 260-0001. Zap. All in one. All for you. Tap in. Zap in.